Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my wonderful and beautiful little subscribers out there. And how I love you all so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delicious. And that life is treating you most deliciously. Now then, so it's, what's the time, Mr. Wolf? So it's nearly 11:30 a.m, my delicious little babies, in our old England. The sun has got his hat on, hip 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 hooray. It is a bit windy. There is some blue sky and the not so fluffy blue and grey clouds are really starting to appear now, my delicious little babies. Although it was perfect blue sky when I woke up this morning. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now then. So I've got one video today, my delicious little babies. It must be because I've been looking, that doesn't mean no. It must be because I've been looking for other things, my delicious little babies. You know, that doesn't mean no. Like I said, I've got a really itchy, for some strange reason. Today, my delicious little babies, an itchy nose, so sorry about that. Yeah. So because I've been looking for other things on YouTube, then this has popped up. My delicious little babies. 3, 2, 1, my juice little lights. Thank you, little lights. You delicious, sorry, and brat. Okay, I never needed to stumble there, my delicious little babies. Now then, so this one here, and I just want to ask one question. What is it that I haven't passed? I'd just like to know, really. You know, to whom it may concern. You see, when you look at it, others had, let's just say, an interest in these jibby jabs, my delicious little babies, okay? You know, like one of the recent prime ministers was supposed to be a prime minister, my delicious little babies, okay? Sunny. Okay, my delicious little babies. So he wouldn't have been the only one, would he? My delicious little babies, do you see what I mean? Anyway, it's only from a video that I heard. So why would that stick in my noddle? Just drawing a line. Do you know what I mean? To whom it may concern. Just wondering why, that's all. Okay? Anyway, I'm not changing what I say. There's something, there we are, that it just doesn't feel right. Okay? Then again, I suppose there's a lot that we could say about a lot of things in the world, my delicious little babies, couldn't we? That doesn't feel right. Okay? So, yeah. So, no, I'm not removing my video. Any of my videos. I'm done saying what I've got to say. And we can only hope that the situation with little Lucy Letby, there we are, get sorted out, my delicious little babies, okay? Now then, my delicious little babies, so, and that's no offence to any of the dear mummies and daddies and dear families, you know, who lost little babies, do you know what I mean? But we really, there we are, need to look at the sides to this situation, my delicious little babies, there we are, do you know what I mean? Anyway, past to Nats, the moon was super duper large. I mean, if it had came any closer, I'm sure you could have got a plane there, my delicious little babies, do you know what I mean? Anyway, I hope that wherever you are in the world, that life is treating you most deliciously, and that the sun is shining, weather is sweet, yeah. Okay, my delicious little babies. Yeah, so just one video today, nearly 16 minutes long. This is the only video that I have looked at. I'm about halfway through it. It's nearly 16 minutes long, my delicious little babies. And the uploader is called capital S static with one T space I think it's a capital. I think it's capital R. In space capital T the space capital A attic. Okay, my delicious baby, so that's the uploader with anybody not in that way, not in that way. Should read once tapped into the old search engine space bar in YouTube. Static in the attic. Okay, my delicious little babies, yes. And this uploader happens to have 76.5 thousand subscribers, my delicious little babies. Now, I recognise his voice because I'm only like halfway through, so I haven't seen his birth traces yet. I recognise his voice, but I've never seen this channel before, my delicious little babies. I've never heard any videos on it, okay? But I will be listening to another, there we are, couple of videos. First of all, I'll tell you what it should read, the title, my delicious little babies. 1976 or 1976 space interview. Okay, my delicious little babies. So I'll just repeat that again. 1976 interview with Static in the Attic as the uploader on older YouTube with 76.5 thousand subscribers. Now, it appears he does explain this at the beginning, my delicious little babies, that, well, he appears to be having an issue as well. So the only ones who can view his videos, my delicious little babies, are his, subscribers who he's already got. Okay, my delicious little babies. So he seems to be having a lot of problems, as there we are as well, my delicious little babies. Well, I too have there we are, a lot of problems, my delicious little babies, okay? And of course, sometimes, so I'm just going to close my book. So let's hope that I will send a little comment afterwards, after listening to the rest of the video, because I shall be, there we are, like I say, listening to the rest of the video. Yeah, and that must go back to where we need to go back to. He was also talking about that he, that he has shown, is it news clippings from the 1930s, my delicious little babies, okay? So I think it's well worth, I feel, for myself to take, there we are, a little listen to a few of his other videos, okay, my delicious little babies, because if he's got the same problem, as he clearly calls it, shadow banning, okay, but like I said, I have the same. You see, with myself, sometimes I talk in a code, so it's a case of needing to, there we are, to work it out, what I'm saying, my delicious little babies, okay? But for myself, I would say the majority of the time, whatever I receive, there we are, comes into my noddle. Do you see what I mean? Okay, so it's a case of working everything out. But like I say, I want to find out, there we are, much, much, much more here, because I just do not understand. I'll repeat again, there's something, there we are, that's really niggling at myself. There we are, it's really niggling at myself. And why would somebody mention, that somebody had, something to do with, do you know what I mean? It's not just a case of, that doesn't mean, no, it's not just a case of, doing the correct thing. And nobody's saying that Mr. Bridgen never did the correct thing, okay? But I'm pretty sure that for being in all the years that he was as an MP, he would have probably seen and heard a lot, you know what I mean? But it just makes one's wonder, doesn't it, my delicious little babies, just how many of these MPs have shares, there we are, in different things now, which of course usually is against there we are, mankind, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes. So it's just really strange. I've been trying to find the video. I've even been listening through other videos to see if it was that video. But I know, there we are, I definitely heard it, and that's why it's stuck in my noddle. There we are, my delicious little babies. I know I heard it, and I'm not making it up, and I'm not stirring shout. I'm just saying I know I heard it on a video. It was the only one video, my delicious little babies, that I've heard it on. But I thought, but as soon as I went yes, because it was like automatic, yes. Do you see what I mean? Okay. So all is not as it seems, my delicious little babies. Neither is it, for some of us on this earth, on this planet, my delicious little babies. Okay. It seems that, let's just say, I don't know, you put it in a different way. It's just it's just a figure of speech, my delicious little babies. It's like we've been planted here. There we are, for certain reasons, my delicious little babies. Do you understand? There we are. I know what I'm saying. There's a lot more to everything, my delicious little babies, Kai. So, yeah. And, it was really good as well to see, no, bless him, not in that way. Gary, Space, Waterman, Waterman, okay, it's all one word. Gary Space Waterman, and old YouTube, my delicious little babies. Yes, he's now up to 2.53 thousand subscribers, my delicious little babies, and let it continue. There we are. Because all I ever try to do is just get, one's numbers up, and, just to, well, I just do it as a hobby, you know what I mean? I just do my best to help out, there we are, who I can. But I mean, we're in a situation where we just do not know, who is what. My delicious little babies. We just do not know who is what right at this moment in time. Some who you feel, very honest and, pleasant and everything, are clearly not. And then you've got a lot of this, opposition going on. One's in opposition with somebody else, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I mean? For myself, this is complete madness. It really, really is, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes? Anyway, the past couple of nights, I haven't been able to sleep very well. I don't know what it is. My spirit, there we are. My spirit is not resting very well. My left eye's jumping. I'm going to hear disappointment. My delicious little babies, okay? Or bad news. Mind you, I was getting a smell. Was it early hours this morning? It was like a fragrance I was getting, my delicious little babies, as if I felt somebody's, there we are, coming to see me in spirit. Do you understand what I mean? Okay, maybe they've recently, bless the dear little souls, maybe they've recently passed, but I just kept getting this waft of like a fragrance, It's like a kind of like a citrusy, like an orangey, lemony kind of fragrance, my delicious little babies. Do you know what I mean? But my spirit just wasn't resting one bit. So it probably explains why I probably look a bit tired, my delicious little babies, although I've been up early this morning. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel as if I've sort of blinked and then woken up, my delicious little babies. It's one of those, But no, I'm sure there we are. We're going to hear a lot more. Something's not feeling right to myself. I've got nothing across my shoulders. That's telling me no. There's just something that's really, really, there we are. It's off. Something is very off. There we are at the moment. And my spirit is not resting. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay? So, yeah. So, please, if you could listen to Gary, bless him, Gary Waterman on YouTube, if you could, my delicious little babies, okay? Because, you see, and anybody who tells any form of the truth, they hardly receive any views or likes or anything, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I mean? And I mean, and to be fair, for the ones who I listen to, there we are. They really do give banging information out, my delicious little babies. Do you know what I'm saying? So they cannot be telling porcupines, can they, my delicious little babies? Do you see what I'm saying? There's something, I don't know what this is. Excuse me. I'm questioning everything. I'm really, it's like you look at some and you think, okay, well, who are you really? You know what I mean, my delicious little babies? It's just got me questioning. I've questioned things for years now. There we are, my delicious little babies. I have, but it's becoming more and more. There we are. I don't know. It's getting more severe now. You know what I mean? I suppose it's a lack of trust, I suppose. Because you don't know who's who, do you, my delicious little babies? Do you know what I'm saying? Because one's just, blend in, don't they? So you do not really know who's who. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? So that is true, what Gary said, where one's just blend in. I do believe that, my delicious little babies. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so I haven't got anything else to say, other than, it probably sounds today like I'm a sandwich short of a picnic, or maybe the lift does not go up to the top floor, my delicious little babies. But I can well assure you all now that there is nothing wrong with my noddle. And I do not believe that all is as it seems. I mean, we've known this for years, but no, there we are. There's something else going on. I'm not sure what right now, but I cannot put my finger on it. But there we are. But there is something. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay? And I noticed as well that it's coming up now, back up on YouTube as well, to do with, bless her. I did a video on her a long time ago. Nicola Bully. Okay, my delicious little babies. So ones are starting to chat about Nicola again, my delicious little babies. This is what I'm saying, you see. See, we need to keep going. You see, what's happening is, it's like because we've got so many distractions, okay? It's like, and the little lackeys, they're wanting everybody to forget about everything. Do you see what I mean, okay? But we have to keep, there we are, rewinding. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? And then somewhere it all slots in. It's like one's families. There's, me personally, I have not done my family tree. Mind you, the families were so large. I've had very large families, my delicious little babies of mine. And to be honest, I do not know a third of them. And that's just being honest, my delicious little babies. I never met any of them. I met some who were, really lovely. And then, but I never met, if you look at it, it's a very large, there we are, family. But it's all a mixture, you know what I mean? And, but it seems that certain there have been planted. There's something going on. There's something going on. Okay, my delicious little babies. Oh, and that's it. Somebody said to me the other day, I was walking out my beautiful little Ruby Tuesday, because my beautiful little amazing Moo can walk us off. And somebody said to me, it was really odd, and it's not been said to myself before. And they said, because they had their little baby with them, just like my little baby Rubes. And I just, looked at, I said, oh, like that. And I asked the name of the beautiful little lamb, and I won't say the name. And then the man stood there and just said to myself, said, oh, said, who do you support? I said, well, what do you mean? As in, what do you mean? As in football or something? He said, yeah. I said, I don't support anybody. I said, I just, watch videos, do some research and do videos. He went, he said, I support Birmingham City. I said, oh. I said, oh, well. I said, I hope your team wins. But England was playing, wasn't it, the weekend? My delicious little babies, do you know what I mean? I just thought it was a really strange thing to ask myself. I've never seen your man before in my life. Very strange indeed. Anyway, so wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, please have a super duper delicious time. You only get one life, my little honey bunnies. Sending peace, love, harmony, and bright blessings to each and every one of you. May your beautiful little selves and your beautiful little families, may you all be fully protected. Yeah, just really odd. I've never seen the man before. And of course, not in that way. Certainly not with anybody. But yeah, just really odd. Like you'd expect somebody to ask you something if they already know you. Do you understand what I mean? Or they happen to be on a conversation about, a particular subject or topic. But not just to come out the blue and just ask me that question. Rather odd. Okay, my little babies, so until my next video, I do not know how long it's going to take to upload. But yes, if you could please take a look at, your man there, the uploader's videos, my little babies, because he must be saying something that's causing himself issues as well, my delicious little babies. You know what I mean? But we're, there's many of us who are going through this, my delicious little babies. Oh, and the one who I advertise, that's the last thing I wanted to say. The one who I advertise, long time back now. What is he? He does, what's his flipping name? It's where he goes and rates, what's it called? Rate the takeaway or the takeaways. He's up to 800,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. My delicious little babies can. But he also has another little channel for himself and his wife. But I think he's coming away from that channel, right? My takeaways for a bit. My delicious little babies. Yeah, I've seen part of the video. Yeah. He's had 2 strokes, the poor man. Okay, my delicious little babies. Anyway, we can only hope that he starts to feel, better soon. Okay, my delicious little babies. So you just take care now, and peace, harmony, love, and bright blessings to each and every one of you. Thank you so very much for any views, for any likes, and for the occasional comments. How I love you also. Thank you once again for listening. Love ya. Goodbye.